Hey, it's Bitty Penny. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am working with this really fun vintage kit. It's from Mindless Crafting, and I did check and they are still in stock. You get 3 identical napkins here. I'm going to unfold it. It has like a Parisian architectural feel to it. And then I got a couple of these um, bags that are filled with, they're kind of like washi stickers, but it's all different types of ephemera now, and some of them are on acetate, which is super cool. It's a nice variety. First, I want to say that I imagine that these might all vary slightly. So I think you would get all the same number of items. You might get some of the same items that I have here. You might get different ones. Here are some charms that came. Again, I think you get the same number of charms, just maybe different ones, maybe some of the same. I really don't know. I don't put the kits together, y'all. I'm just guessing that that's how it goes, because if I was going to build one of these kits and I was sourcing the materials, that's probably how I would put them together. There are some definition little cut aparts here that came in my kit. It also came with the craft tags, and I just wanted to give you a walkthrough of the kit first. So lots and lots of these. Very random, very different. I was kind of already knew what theme I was going to do, so I was pulling them out for that theme. It came with those craft tags. It came with this little notebook that's already assembled. It's plain. And then a whole glassine bag full of pages. I believe these are basically 4¼ by 5½. So if you're not a junk journaler, but you're a card maker, this would be a great kit if you want to start making like a vintage style card. This would be a great investment to where you don't have to buy a whole ton of variety of different things. Here you could get a nice amount of samples of different papers. They come in different sizes. They have different patterns. I really think if you're wanting to make vintage cards, but you are not a junk journaler who's going to have books to tear apart and all these different things, this kit would be amazing. Or if you're getting started in junk journaling, again, maybe you don't have a lot of space. You don't want to keep all the things. Junk journaling, all the things for junk journaling does take up some space. So I just think this kit would be great for that. It comes with these beautiful envelopes that I really love. I will be using a little bit of all of this in this junk journal today. This is the kit. I am going to make a junk journal from start to finish here in this video. I'm also going to use this Mindless Crafting stamp set that I just love. It's for tea lovers. I'm a tea lover. I thought I might use this one too, but I didn't. I think I did use this one. I can't remember. I was trying to pick a direction, you guys. So what I wanted to show you here is, even though I did not use this kit, this was something that was being sold at Mindless Crafting for a while. Don't think they have any more in stock, but it's a Prima kit that I adore, cherish, and hoard with great pride, okay? I use this kit so sparingly, but I think it lends itself very well to this vintage kit. So if you had this in your stash, you could use the vintage kit and you could go that direction. I also had this in my stash, and I decided to go this direction instead, and I had a couple of reasons. One, I love pages like this, you guys, for my junk journal pages. So if you don't have a printer, you don't want to print up a bunch of printables, pick up one of these packs. Now, this junk journal cover I'm going to make from an old school folder. I need to pick up more. I am almost used them. I only had a few. I was cleaning up my craft room and I found them and I was like, I don't know why I never thought of it before. These make such easy covers for junk journals for beginners. And I'm not a beginner, but I still love now making my covers with these. So I'm just measuring things up to decide how big I want it to be, and I save those scraps. If you want to see me make another one of these, I already have a video. It's a live video where I made a llama themed journal with $5 worth of supplies from Dollar Tree, and it turned out amazing. Well, Dollar Tree and Hobby Lobby. But yeah, so I went through and I picked out some papers. I don't even think I used all of these. But the great thing about these papers is these are the thinner papers. Okay, so if you bought them maybe for your card making and you don't like using them in your card making because they're not card stock, this might be a project for you. Or if you make junk journals and you don't want to print up all the pages sometimes, go pick up one of these paper pads. They're amazing. Okay, I have this Tyvek, so I'm going to use this to reinforce my spine here, but you don't have to. You can omit this step and have a gorgeous journal. It's no problem. But here's the reason why I used this Tyvek envelope. This is a recycled envelope from the post office, and it's got this plasticky, stinky Tyvek material. But I really wanted to reinforce the seam of my journal. Yes, way too much glue. I hear you. It's okay. We're going to use it all. But I wanted to reinforce my spine here because I'm going to make this a flowish journal. And what a flowish journal is your signatures of your book bound to the book just by tying them on. So not sewing them in. This is just wrap some string around it, some elastic around it, tie it in a knot, and you're down the road. It's easy. But because I wanted to do 2 signatures in the flowish style, I just wanted to reinforce this folder so it wouldn't rip or tear over time. That's why I used the Tyvek. Okay, so I spread out the glue and now I'm separating the layers of these napkins that came in the kit, and I'm going to use them to cover the front of my journal cover. I use washi tape to separate layers of napkin. It just makes it super quick and easy. This journal cover turned out really interesting because where the Tyvek is, you can see the pattern of the napkin very clearly, and where it wasn't, it kind of just faded into that dark blue folder. I just found that to be really interesting effect. You could always just, if you wanted the napkin to show more like it does on the Tyvek, you could put down the Tyvek and then you could put down a piece of copy paper or white paper over it, and then you would get a unified design. But I like mine. I like the mixed media of it. I think it's very interesting. Now, I will tell you, these napkins are a little different than what I'm used to using. They kind of have like a perforated, bumpy surface, and they tear with the glue a little easier than what I'm used to. I also used a lot of glue on this day, and I don't think I normally do, so it could also be me. But it's so easy to patch. So here you're going to see I rubbed it there on the left and I created a hole. So all I did was grab some extra over here and patched it up, and you can't even tell. It's not a big deal. Just be cautious. That's all. And that you have to do that with any napkin you're working with, especially because you're tearing off all the extra layers. So you just have to be careful no matter what. All right, so now I'm just going to trim this down. I'm going to set this to the side. So I created this journal in one fell swoop, and I edited the video so that you could see the process in order, how I tackle it. So when I'm sitting down to make a journal, especially like this one where I'm going to make it all at once, I'll do a lot of my heavy gluing first. That way it can be drying while I put my signatures together. I did a live video about a week ago where I made a journal start to finish, much like this one. It was a custom journal for my neighbor, and I took the same steps that I'm taking with you here today, but this is just a much shorter, edited down version, right? It's like 10 times shorter. But I do all my heavy gluing, things like this first, so that my cover can be drying while I'm putting my signatures together, decorating my signatures, and doing all the things. So it's much like cooking. If you cook, you've got to start the things that take the longest first, and then you keep working down, right? So you kind of, if you do the same thing with your journal making, it'll make the process go more smoothly. On the inside, I'm going to put down this Parisian kind of haute couture designer fashion paper. I just thought it went well for the inside. It's going to make, this thing is going to be so sturdy because you can tell I did not go light-handed with my glue. I went very heavy-handed with that glue. And so by the time this all really dries, it was super sturdy, which of course I want because, when people are journaling, they don't want their journal falling apart on them. So I don't want that for them either. I want something that will really last and hold up. All right, I'm going to keep that original pocket that was in the folder. And honestly, I don't even mind the size, like how it's such a deep pocket, but you can trim it off. Now I'm bringing in this digital. This is an interesting digital. It's called African Violet. I did not design it, but I inspired it. So I had won this gift from Nevermore Creations where I wanted design opportunities. So where I would give her an idea for design, she would design it for me. And I just think we always need more representation in this world. And I wanted to see beautiful women of color in a junk journal kit. So that's what I asked for. And this is what she came up with. And plus I wanted flowers. Y'all know me. This was years ago, before Tim Holtz started adding diversity into his paper dolls. It was just, we were just really missing it when I designed these or had these designed. It was back in 2017, but I'm happy to see that there is more, this is being thought of more in our hobby now. Okay, so I had printed other random printables on the back because I do like them to be double-sided. And I'm just folding this all different ways. I made this for Tracy. Spoiler alert, at Mindless Crafting. I'm sending this to her. That is where I bought the kit, and I didn't even know. I made this before it was her birthday, and then they shared that it was her birthday, and they had a 30% off sale off everything in the shop. You guys, follow Mindless Crafting. Subscribe to their newsletter. They do sales all the time. They sell all kinds of amazing things. They have their own stamp sets that they design, and they do digitals, and they sell awesome paper and ephemera from, simple stories and so on. All right, so I'm going to add some of my tea-dyed paper to this journal. That piece is extra crunchy, but that's okay. I have a fix for it. So I am going to be decorating this journal. I do everything in this video. It's a start to finish journal. So you'll see how I fix that crunchy page. That was a little torn. Okay, when I am working with my journal pages, I like to separate them in piles. So I have my beautiful women in one pile. I've got my tea-dyed pages in another pile, and I'm kind of looking because I have different colors going on here, and I start building my signatures out. Now you can tell this journal is going to have some white pages. I could always print on those, on the back of those pattern papers, but I'm just not going to worry about it. We're going to tackle those white pages and everything's going to be just fine. So I'm just alternating here. I usually like to have 3-4 different types of papers that I alternate between as I'm building my signatures. Now this right here is just going to be like a 15-page single signature, and then I'll show you what I'm doing with the rest of the journal. So I'm trying to decide which page is going to be my center page. You know, it's always nice to think about that middle page, the last one that you put in your signature, and which one it's going to be, because it kind of gets the double page spread. And I thought this one was just perfect. So I go ahead and fill in the rest of the pages, folding them different directions and getting it all set up. And now I think this signature feels really good. I'm not going to worry about trimming the edges off all equal and clean on that right side, but you certainly could if that is something that you like to do. Now I'm just always do this. I do a flip through. I see how it feels. Does it feel cohesive? Do the colors go well together? And then once I decide that it does, I make sure that everything's tucked in really tight and close to one another. For now, I'm just going to clip that together. Oh, and then realize, wait, you know, I have these pieces that I had trimmed off of the patterned paper, and I just came back and added those to the white pages, and like, I feel like they're fine. I don't really feel like they need a lot more than that. So, you know, save your scraps. These were already the right height. I was just trimming off the edge to get them the right length. And it just worked out perfectly. So I'm just kind of alternating these scraps and using those to decorate the edges of all the white pages. I meant to have this video out for y'all last week during spring break, but we were just having too much fun, to be completely honest. And I sadly had to delete a lot of content off my phone. So a lot of videos I had made for you guys, I just had to sacrifice them and let them go because I just didn't have enough storage space. It's a problem. All right, here is that crunchy page that's kind of torn. I'm going to grab one of these beautiful envelopes. I would love to just have a stack of these envelopes. I love them. They're the right height for my journals because I really like to do a 9x6 journal for the most part, and they just fit perfectly. So what I'm going to do is glue down this flap of this envelope over that hole and that kind of crunchy side of that paper. And it's just going to disguise, it's going to cover it up completely. Plus it'll hold it together and make the integrity of the page much more solid. It's kind of backing it now and keeping it together. And we have a flip. Now, mine's a little wrinkled, but that's just what happens with tea dye paper. This is a junk journal. Don't stress about it. And so then I do go ahead and add some of my page flips and journaling spots in here. So this one, you can tuck something in it as well as flip it up and journal underneath that. I am adding a few details along on these white pages. I have this glassine bag that came in the kit. Another thing I did truly adore about the kit, which I need to tell Tracy and Bill, is that they packaged things and things that you can use for a junk journal. So she packaged things like in the glassine bag and in those really cute craft color and black and white bags, and things that I can use in the journal instead of like plastic that I can't really use. I loved that. I loved that aspect of the kit. So I'm just going through, I'm adding a few pre-made ephemera pieces to tuck spots and pockets. This is definitely a writer's journal. This whole junk journal is really going to be for someone who likes to write. Okay, so now this is all dry. And now that it's all dry, I'm getting closer and closer to wanting to assemble it. But I did decide to do a little more mixed media here and bring in some paste, my light and fluffy. Y'all know me. That's the Crafters Workshop Light and Fluffy paste. and I adore it. So I'm going to use that with my stencil. This is much like the mixed media journal cover that I made on my channel not that long ago. I take you through the full process of how I made a hardcover mixed media journal, and I really loved it so much that I'm replicating that here with this soft cover. And this journal is just sturdy and strong now, you guys. It has a lot of texture, it has a lot of interest. I love the way it came together. It's absolutely gorgeous. You'll see by the end of this video just how beautiful it is. Here I'm just spreading this paste on, getting it in all the places. I really think this unifies the cover. So even though we had that Tyvek, and so some of the napkins showed really strong and some of the napkin just kind of blended into the background, when you put this paste over it, it unifies it. So I have this scrap fabric. I have 2 totes of it now, and I made myself some ruffles to go along the edges, and I'm just trimming this down. I loved this ruffle. I thought, again, it just really tied this cover together and made it look finished. So I've got my Fabrifix, and that's how I'm going to adhere my ruffle onto this cover. So Tracy and Bill, the husband and wife duo, the extraordinaire, they are the most encouraging and uplifting crafty channel that I know of, you guys. Just hands down. They will brighten your day, lift your soul. They're amazing. And they do this mindless crafting at midnight. I'm not ever up for it, but I always catch it on the replay, and it's so much fun. Plus, on Thursdays, they do lives, which I actually used to clock out of work so I could watch their live. So I could participate in the chat and watch it, but I haven't been able to do that in a long time. So I just catch it on the replay. But Tracy has a beautiful voice. She sings, and they have fun, and they are so encouraging. I just love them. They do card drives. They're always doing, card drives at different times during the year for different causes. I really just adore them. Like, if I could go on a cross-country road trip to meet some of my favorite crafters, they would be on my list. I would go meet them in a heartbeat. I need to win the lottery so I can go meet all of my crafty friends. All right, so I'm getting so much closer here. I've got my first signature exactly where I want it. And this is a flowish journal, you guys, but I did decide to go ahead and stitch this first signature together. So I'm going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch and stitch this first signature together, just like so. There we go. And so I just poked my 3 holes in. I'm going to grab one of my needles. This is a waxed linen bookbinding thread that I'm using here. These little kits have gone up a lot, you guys, since I started. You used to be able to get a bookbinding kit with the thread, the needles, the everything for like $10 or $12. They're over $20 now. I went to link one for you guys in a previous video, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's the days of the $10 and $12 bookbinding kit seem to be gone. But $20 honestly is worth it. I've used this kit since 2016, 2017, and hundreds of times. They're fine. It's a total investment that is really worth it, and at the end of the day, $22 is just not too much to pay for it. You get the thread, you get everything you need. So I will leave that linked down below for you as well. I know we have beginners here who are just finding these hobbies, and they need to know where to find the stuff. So here it is undecorated. I pretty much just have my pages in. And here is the book I'm going to put in the back. Okay, so I did decide to use 2 different sari silks for my flow binding. So you see, you just cut a long piece. I can't really tell you how long because it depends on how big of a bow you want. It depends on how big your book is. But I just cut 2 long lengths of the sari silk, and that's how I am binding that into the book. I just find the center of the signature, like here. I take my ribbon, you could use ribbon, twine, whatever, fabric, long torn lengths of fabric. You can use whatever you have and just wrap it around, secure it. I like to secure it pretty well, pretty tight, and then tie it. And I don't even bother like double knotting it or anything. This stuff stays for one, but that way, you know, if Tracy wants to move things around, she can either slide it off or untie it and move things. Let's do some decorating. I need to show y'all how I made these. I keep talking about it and I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to add this pocket to the front cover, and I'm just going to glue like an inch down the center, an inch wide, and then the full length of the pocket down the center there. And this will make like an accordion pocket, plus it has that tall pocket in the back. Let's decorate this glassine bag, and I'm just using things from the kit that I was showing you at the beginning of the video. I'm going to have it linked down below as well so that you can go find, I'm going to link Tracy and Bill's YouTube channel, and I'm going to link the kit so that you can find it in their shop as well. They don't know I'm making this, you guys. They have no idea. They didn't ask me to make it. I bought this with my own money. I just really love to promote other creators, and I love to promote businesses, especially small businesses that I know will take care of you. And let me tell you, they will take care of you. They will pray for you. They will ship you your stuff lightning fast. They are just the best. And, you know, that's the kind of places I want to send you to because I know you'll have a good experience with them. And I want to promote people that I adore. I don't know what else to tell you. So I wanted to share this kit with you guys. I wanted to make a journal with it. I wanted to see what was in it. Inquiring minds want to know. And so I just did this all on my own, you know, my own interest. So here I'm just going through, I'm pulling things, all the lovelies. There's just so many beautiful things. This is an acetate sticker, and I'm just decorating all around this journal. I added some of the definitions that were included in the kit. I thought they really fit. Again, I kind of sorted through them and picked the ones I felt like fit for the theme of this kit. And you know, in some of the pages I'm just adding sheets in there from the kit. Here's another envelope. And I also added, you know, little pieces that I already had pre-made. This was a cutoff of the patterned paper that I turned my pages, that I cut my pages out of. So I just turned that into a journaling spot. I need to decorate this envelope. This was a Roxy Creates envelope, and I'm just going to paper clip that onto that white page, but I wanted to decorate it a little too. You know, I like to decorate kind of lightly, to be honest, in my junk journals, because I want whoever gets it, I know who's getting this journal, but like I want the recipients and the users of the journal to have plenty of space to play and explore and add and personalize their journals. So it may appear lazy maybe compared to how some other people make their journals. It's really not a matter of being lazy. It's just a matter of leaving space for others so that they can make it their own. I've gotten journals before that are heavily decorated, and I struggle personally with covering up some of their details, and that's why I do that, because then it's harder for me to personalize it. So here's what I wanted to do for this. This was the plain notebook that came in the kit, which is really cool. So if you don't feel comfortable making the cover and doing all the things I've done in this video, you could just take the kit itself, use this little notebook that comes in it. It's a great size, and you could just decorate that notebook and have a junk journal. You don't have to have printables. You don't have to have scrapbook paper. You don't have to have any of the things I've done in this video to make a journal. If you got this kit, you could just take the notebook. Every kit comes with one of these notebooks, and decorate the notebook, decorate the internal pages. You have all that ephemera, you have all that paper. I have a ton of stuff left over. And you would have, and it's sewn. These little notebooks, the paper is sewn into that cover, so it's going to last. It's going to be a great little kit. I'm even showing you here that I saved some of that ruffle to put on this notebook as well. So, you know, explore and have fun. You can make all kinds of things. You could decorate each one of those pages inside of that. So here is my final journal that I made with the kit. I really, really love it. I think it came together beautifully. This is my bulldog clip closure that I like to do for my journals because it's removable, it's expandable, it's easy. It's just my go-to at this point. I'm going to do a flip through here with you guys. Here's a back pocket plus more pockets. I did eventually put in some additional stuff here. I just didn't have it done by the time I did this flip through in the video. Here are the pages. This is a fun pocket, and it even has a little envelope. It's just little details. It's always the little details, you guys, that make things come together, in my opinion. You know, the little decorated glassine bag. I love all the pages. I don't mind those white pages at all. Here's a little tag that I made with the tags that came in the kit. This is a Roxy Creates pocket here as well. It's on my channel. I have a playlist called the Junk Journal Process. You'll find lots of stuff on that playlist if you're looking for some of these past videos of mine. I just think this is so lovely. I have a feeling that Tracy is going to love it and adore it. I'm going to have to make something different for Bill. I can't just send something to Tracy, even though it was her birthday, and which I feel like is perfect. Like, I didn't even know it was her birthday, and I made this for her. And she was just on my heart and on my mind, and I bought their kit, and I thought, I'm going to use their own kit to make them something, because I know how special that is. Like, when I make printables and I see you guys use my printables, there's something so special to think, oh my gosh, they're inspired enough to use my printable. I'm so honored. I'm so excited, you know. And so I have a feeling that she'll feel the same way getting something like this made with the kit that she's put together in her shop. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found lots of inspiration and tips and tricks, and that you're inspired to go make something today. I will try to remember all the things I promised to link down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.